Hi everyone, welcome back to another flight review. This time, we'll continue our flight journey from Sydney to Jakarta. After a quick transit, I returned to the airport and proceeded to the waiting room. Oke, jadi udah masuk lagi di airport. Terus sekarang udah menuju gate, jadi gate-nya tuh dapatnya gate 25 QF41 ke Jakarta. Sini it's a Pacific A350, gila keren banget pesawatnya. Really cool, dan deket banget sama jendela. This is the Sky Lounge team. Sky Team Lounge. Sky Lounge team. Udah mulai mabuk. I arrived slightly ahead of time, and as you can see, the gate was pretty much empty. For the second leg of this trip, we'll be flying with the Airbus A330-300. After waiting for some time, the boarding process began. It was a full PAX flight to Jakarta, so it took quite a while to board the plane. Luckily, the boarding process went very smoothly. Another interesting point is that Qantas often uses their older A330-200 with old seats for flights to Jakarta, but that day somehow it got switched to this A330-300 with a refurbished cabin. This type of plane configuration often flies to Hong Kong or even Tokyo, so I felt so lucky to get this plane that day. On this flight, I got a seatback entertainment screen, which is quite rare in Qantas A330 fleet. The legroom was pretty decent, and I got a blanket and a pillow, of course, for this 7-hour flight. In the seat pocket, you'll find the usual headphones, an in-flight magazine, and a safety instruction card. The crew then gave a welcoming announcement for the passengers and a briefing for departure.
It can be plugged into the armrest. Please remember flight 41 through to Jakarta.
Look at this gorgeous red wingtip. I noticed some planes only have grey wingtips facing inwards.
Great to welcome you aboard our flight to fantastic Jakarta, Indonesia.
I really loved the purser on this flight. He seemed very happy doing his job and excited to go to Jakarta. He could even speak Indonesian very well.
Di mana kebelayaan pelanggan anda. Kapten yang berada di kokpit bernama Captain Rob Gibb, First Officer Echo Koto.
I was very impressed. Also, it's important to mention that Qantas is one of the oldest airlines in the world. The safety video was themed for their 100th anniversary. While the safety video was playing, the pushback started. Sydney Kingsford Smith Airport is located very close to the CBD, as you can see in this view. But Sydney will have a brand new, bigger second airport coming soon, opening in the upcoming years. There was also an Indonesian safety video version played after the English version was completed, so it was quite a long safety briefing. And of course, the iconic Boeing 717, which has been phased out with the newer Airbus A220. Here are some of the footages of our taxiing process. The taxiing process was very fast to reach our runway 34L. It means we'll have a city view while taking off to the north. If you want to skip the takeoff video, please adjust the timeline accordingly. And because I'm an aviation geek, I'll for sure record the takeoff process. Thankfully, the weather was very clear that day, so we could see Sydney's suburbs clearly. Our plane then climbed to cruising altitude and flew northwest to Jakarta with an estimated flight time of 7 hours and 11 minutes. Now let's explore the seatback entertainment. I really like the screen's responsiveness and simple layout. The film selection was varied, especially for Western or English-speaking movies, but for now, I'll pick one later. This was our first snack, served very quickly after takeoff. We got a salted snack and a bottle of water. While enjoying the very salty snack, personally speaking, it was so salty, I picked a movie to watch. I chose a movie called The Lost City to kill some time. And while watching the movie, the meal service began. And I got this meal. The food was delicious for me, but I forgot its name. We also got an ice cream for dessert. It's a pedal pop ice cream. And of course, the infamous Australian Tim Tam came with it. I continued watching movies for the rest of the flight, but look how great the weather is outside today. It's going to be a lovely trip. And we were already halfway there, soon saying goodbye to Australian land. I took a nap for a little bit, and when I woke up, the sky had begun to enter dusk. And looking for the scenery outside, yep, I'm pretty sure we are in Indonesian airspace already. The in-flight map showed that we were only around 40 minutes away from arriving in Jakarta. What a cozy short rest before landing. As we descended, we could see the iconic Indonesian tropical mountains, and it's such a great scenery. The cabin crew then began preparing for arrival, and once again, I was really impressed with the purser's Indonesian-speaking fluency.
Siap-siap untuk mendarat. Dimohon untuk kembali ke kursi anda yang telah disiapkan. Bila anda kehilangan perangkat elektronik, penting agar anda tidak memindahkan.
Here are some of the footages of our approach and landing in Jakarta, the capital city of Indonesia.
Semua tas harus diletakkan di dalam kompartmen atas layar hiburan dan keranjang.
As one of the most populated cities in the world and also one of the busiest domestic airport operations, arriving at Soekarno-Hatta Airport might take quite some turns and, of course, some time. Again, I noticed Qantas is the airline that keeps the lights on during takeoff and landing. Here is our landing process. Welcome to Jakarta. We landed at 6:15 in the evening local time.
Welcome to Jakarta, where the local time is 17 minutes past 6 on my Casio watch. Now,
and yes, welcome to the hot and humid Jakarta. You can tell that by the windows too. This video was shot slightly after the pandemic, so most Indonesians were still wearing face masks. Now it's time to disembark and say goodbye to this A330-300. Thankfully, I didn't get the windowless seat just behind me. Hey, back to Jakarta. Akhirnya nyampe. You can tell how happy I am to end this long trip from the US. Unfortunately, it doesn't end yet. Soekarno-Hatta Terminal 3, the international terminal, is one of the longest walking terminal you'll find out there. As Indonesians, whenever we fly from this terminal, we joke that walking to the gate is the same as walking to the next district. It really is a long walk. Finally, I made it through immigration and was ready to collect my bag. Thankfully, we got the first conveyor belt, so less walking. Last, after getting through custom, I finally saw the exit door. So this marks the end of this flight review. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next flight review.